This episode of Quite Frankly was made possible by our friends from MacFun, great photo editing software for Mac. Go to our special MacFun community website for exclusive deals just for you guys.
Guys, and welcome to this episode of Quite Frankly. Now in this episode, a very quick tip about how to create your own action. Now actions are really cool. Actions can save you a lot of time in your workflow because there are certain things in Photoshop you do over and over again. There are certain looks you create that you do over and over again. So why should you do all the work every time when you can create an action? Now the actions are really easy to create. You can use this menu over here under your actions, and for example let's make a new folder, a new set, and call it test, and press OK. So now I have this new folder or set over here. Now let's say I want to create a new action. I use this icon which will actually set create new action. You press it and you have to give it a name. Let's say test quite frankly. Do it in the set test, of course we want it there. And do we need a function key for it? No, not at the moment. Do we want it to give it a color? No. So just press record. Now let's say I always duplicate my layer. There we go. And let's say I want to give this logo of our new instructional video a new tint. So let's go to image, adjustments, and go to curves. Now I want to make it a little bit vintage, so let's go to red and pull the reds down. There we go. Push the reds up in the highlights. Go to blue and make it a little bit more funky in the shadows and pull the highlights down. There we go. And press OK. Now the only thing you have to do is press stop. Okay, now let's go back. So we're in the original image again. Now the next time you want to do this, and let's say you call this a vintage look, you just press play and boom, there you go. Now this is way faster than doing all the work every time again. Now does it work on plugins? Sometimes it does. As you can see here, I created a plugin called Portrait Smooth. Now this Portrait Smooth will actually duplicate my layer. It runs image nomenclature and it selects my layer background copy, and it will actually create a layer mask, hide all. So the only thing I have to do is I get my image in from the model, I press play, it runs image nomenclature. I can show you on this image by the way. So go here, press play, and it will create my background layer with my layer mask. Now in this case it's a bad example because I actually already had a background layer. So let's do it again. So I'm here on my normal background layer, I press play, and you didn't even see image nomic running because it's so fast. And I have my background copy here and my layer mask hide all. So it's a very simple way of automating it. Now it doesn't work on all plugins. Now on image nomic portraiture it does work. The only thing you have to remember, if you do a model for the first time in Photoshop, you do it first manually. You select all the skin tones you want, you do all the adjustments, and you run image nomic portraiture. So the first time you do it manually. Right after that you run the action again, and you don't have to record the action again because image nomic portraiture remembers the last setting. So it saves a lot of time when you do, let's say, 10 images of the same model. Now with other plugins, just try it out. Alien Skin Exposure remembers the last setting, MacFun doesn't, DxO doesn't. So you have to experiment a little bit, but for the easy stuff like painting with light, which actually creates a new layer with soft light and neutral gray. You can do cross coloring, as you can see here, make adjustment layers, and it remembers whatever you did. And when you want to do it again, you just click on the top one and you press play, and there we go. So this is how you create an action in Photoshop. I hope it helps to save you a lot of time, because time spent less on Photoshop, you can spend more on creativity and photo shoots and other stuff. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm gonna stop the recording and see you next time.